people like using different stage names, but you stuck to Susanna Owiyo. Why that? Susanna Owiyo, sorry. Why that?
I think you're very right. I decided to stick to my name, Suzanna Owiyo, but official name is Suzanne Owiyo, but Susanna is the stage name. But before then, I was torn in between because there are some names that came in. Some names when I was in school, when I was studying in school. One of the names is Pachela. I don't know if that would fit. That would have fit. I don't know. But I decided to stick with my name because I find it unique and it defines me as. I'm Suzanna and my identity is Owiyo. I'm a Luo girl from Kenya. Excuse me.
Yes. Interesting enough. I read about your history. You're the granddaughter of a prolific, I can say, Nyatiti player. So how was it growing up as somebody who has a music background? As in, how did you start into music? How was it growing up in that family?
Yeah, one of the things I would like to tell you, I was passionate. At a younger age, I was so passionate about music. So it just didn't start the other day. I remember my dad used to take us home during school holidays. I grew up in Thika, if you didn't know, Demushiarideka, sorry. Yeah, so my dad used to take me and my siblings in the village, and I used to watch my grandfather play nyatiti, which is an 8-string instrument. So, but that alone I didn't think of like if I would become a musician anytime. At that time, but when I was young, But besides that, I was also an active member of church choir, school, the drama club in school. So it all started at a younger age. But my decision to pursue music as a career came in after completing my secondary school. That was in Rygals, some year 19...
Rygals, alumni is in the house?
1990, should I say the year? Oh, 94, yes. 1994, that's... Yes. Yeah, but now, I decided to take music, which was also not something that went well with my parents. My dad could not even hear any of it, but I think I decided because I know what I want. I just decided to pursue music. I told my dad, this is the path I want to take, because I believe music is also a career, but I don't blame my dad, especially my dad, because I depending on how people used to perceive music then, it used to be perceived as a career with no future. But now it was upon me to prove my dad wrong. So I decided this is my path, this is what I want to do. And for the first time, after some years, struggling from being a dancer, I used to sing with various Congolese bands in Nairobi, in Kisumu. I was a dombolo dancer, if you didn't know.
She's a great dancer.
Yeah, until one day my article appeared on the papers. That's when my dad saw my work, Up to date, my dad still keeps that article. It reminds him of, I don't know, this is the daughter I didn't want to sing, but because the daughter is on the papers, oh my God, the dad was so proud. So it tells you how, I thought that was a bit also selfish from my dad. But one of the things I decided to do is invite him in one of my performances in Kisumu, and I let him talk to the audience, and he said, never ever suppress talent. If your daughter or if your son want to pursue anything, be it in sports, be it in music, be it anything, don't suppress. Just encourage your child. Yeah.
Susanna, that's very true indeed. And if you're here, the lecturers, you've had the message.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I used to watch my grandfather play nyatiti. From a distance, that is. And my interest grew when one of these ladies from Japan, I don't know if you know Anyango from Japan, some lady who plays nyatiti. one day I was watching news and I saw some lady playing Nyatiti from Japan, you know. And I said, in fact, she was even nicknamed Anyango.
Anyango, yeah.
And she speaks my language so well, you know. And I said, oh my, who is this lady? If this lady can play Nyatiti, then she's not breaking any taboo. I mean, I'm a woman. What would stop me from playing the same thing she's playing? So somehow that lady inspired me. That is the day I looked for a Nyatiti. I called, I made various phone calls, and I managed to get a Nyatiti. And I said, I know it's a taboo, like in my community, women don't play Nyatiti, but this is something I want to pursue, and let me be the one to break this, you call it what, taboo or something. Yeah, and I haven't seen anything happen to me, anything wrong, you know, ever since I started playing it. And I always believe in the power of a woman, you know. And when I say, we've seen men playing Nyatiti, but you know, give me a Nyatiti now, I'll play it better than men. You know? Yeah.
And interesting.
Well, my first concert, big concert, I would say, performing to a big crowd, that was in Kisumu in 2001, when Kisumu was celebrating his 100 years centenary. And so there was a committee that was looking for a theme song. And having lived in Kisumu, I decided to come up with a song which was selected. So, and I was picked as one of the entertainers for the day. But before I went on stage, there were many challenges I faced in terms of how I was dressed, you know, because the PPMC then, Presidential Press Commission, Music Commission, they told me, you cannot perform in front of President Moi dressed like this. Not that I was dressed badly, you know. I was just showing a bit of flesh, you know. You know, as a musician, you want to stand out. So here I was trying to stand out, and I was told, you only have 15 minutes to change your clothes, because after 15 minutes, when the president walks into the stadium, I'm sorry, we're not gonna let you in. So I said, okay, thank God I had my suitcase in the parking, you know. I went and changed in the car. That was during the day. You can imagine, with no tents anyway. I don't want to go there. But later on, I got back to the stadium in good time. And when I strummed my guitar for the first time in front of the crowd, I was equally touched, you know, and confused, because I could see guys are like, wow, you know. So I'm like, everybody was asking, where has she been all this time? I think, to me, that was one of the eye-opening, yeah, for me. And since then, my life has never been the same again.
Interesting.
Yes.
And the same musicians are geniuses. You know, you're caught up with a challenge and you have to think on the spot, isn't it right?
Yeah.
And
first, before even we think of the video, we need to know the storyboard of the song. I mean, we need to know what the song is all about. So, what normally inspires me is the day-to-day life. I mean, what happens around me. Even today, I already have a song when I leave Daystar. I have something to write about, you know. So it's just my daily life. I mean, any time a song can come up. Yeah, but for the video, like you say, I'm more into tradition, and I'll still press on that because that's what defines me as an artist, an African artist, a Kenyan artist, you know. So I don't see the need why we should shy away from what we have, you know. That's our culture, and we need to sell it to the people who don't know our culture. We can do that through music. We need to speak to people through music so that they understand our culture.
Like that song, I'm sure some people are not understanding maybe what's in that song. So do you mind explaining?
As a person, you could see there's this drunkard, you know, who doesn't want to work. I mean, he's busy just drinking, and then when he gets back home to the wife, all he wants is food. And he's not even worked for that food. How do you want your woman to give you food now? You know? So at the end of the day, they say, is it written in the Bible, if not wrong? Like you reap what you sow.
True.
So at the end of it all, it's you work hard if you want to succeed. You need to work hard, you know, so that you can reap the success, you know. Yeah.
You know the divas of the Nile, and we have
Chingabura, Princess Julie, and myself.
So what tell us about the divas of the Nile?
Well, basically, we came together to do a concert. It was a concert with a cause, just raising fund to support the girl child, empowering the girl child. So, and which was quite received positively. And being ladies, you know, all ladies, all women concert. So we wanted to raise some money and try and see how we can support our young girls in different ways. But mostly we were more concerned with the buying sanitary towels giving away sanitary towels.
So you guys are still working together up now?
That was on one-off concert, so but we haven't done anything together after that.
How many guys would love to see these guys working together? So the crowd has told you. So you guys will go back, think of that.
Sure.
Bear witness with me. Too much empowering of the young girls has led to the crippling of the boy child, and it's actually very visible in the society today. What would you advise? What is your advice as a musician? Why aren't you doing songs about the boy child?
Well, I think being a woman, I would start with charity begins at home. Let me deal with the women first before I get to boy child. I think there are also responsible boys who can take that message to boys. You know? Yeah, but I think it's all round, and just like you say, but more awareness. I mean, what we've seen happening is our young girls have been lagging behind in terms of education, in terms of almost everything. I mean, when it comes to property, dividing property, what comes into mind? Why should I give my daughter, piece of land, yet I have a son, And if you're a mother, you don't have a son, then you're into problems. So it started something that started way back. So we have to change that. And believe me, you've been having privileges. So why don't you let us enjoy this? Let us enjoy this first before we come to sort your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now enough of the
for UNEP, just like you've mentioned, and part of this is to try and bring home the need for environmental action at all levels to our fans. So this is what I've been trying to do through my music. There's a project I'm currently involved in. It's actually a campaign called Soko Bila Waste. Soko Bila Waste, I don't know if you've heard about it, but was launched 5th of June during the World Environment Day. Basically, it's an initiative on food waste reduction. When I came in today, as I was going around, I remember asking one of the beautiful ladies that I wanted to get access to your kitchen because I wanted to see how much food you waste. I don't know if you're told you waste food, so that is something I need to find out, not today, at a later date. They say food waste happens at various food value chains, from our homes to the markets, during transportation, at disposal level, in farms, So my main point is you cannot tackle each at once. So I decided to try and raise this awareness by targeting one of our markets in Nairobi, Marikiti Market, and I managed to mobilize a couple of personalities, various personalities, from TV personalities, radio personalities, musicians, especially female. I like working a lot with female. I'm not, that's just me, please.
It's okay, we'll forgive you for that.
Please, and we went to Marikiti, and we're also targeting women vendors because we wanted to find out, is there wastage in the market? And we found out there was quite a lot. But some of this has to do with our attitude and behaviors towards handling food. For example, if you go to the market and you want to buy carrots or tomatoes or sukuma wiki, most of you want to get the chopped carrots. For example, ile imekatika. Si unataka ile refu, ile fresh, hiyo umekatika, unataka nani aende akule, So to me, we were trying to see how we can try to convince vendors. Find a way of even having those broken carrots somewhere and sell them at a reasonable price that's affordable, so that they don't go to waste. We found that about 2,000 tons of organic waste every day. That's what we were told. There's about the wastage from the organic waste is about 2,000 tons. That is from the Nairobi City County. But we're like, that number can be brought down. So to me, this is something. It's a 2-year campaign. It supports a UNEP global food waste campaign called Think Eat Save. We are approaching the second phase, whereby we'll go to homes. I do believe that women are the managers of their kitchen. So I don't know how you handle your food in the kitchen.
And I believe if you come to Daystar AthiRiver, it will also help you.
You know?
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you eat leftovers, number one. Do you consume leftovers?
Yes.
You should try, and instead of wasting, you're just saying yes. But if I come to your hostel or your room, I'll see a different story. So I think that is something I want to really try and reach out to various guys as much as I can to sensitize them on the importance of reducing on the food waste.
So Suzanne,
Yeah.
let me ask you. There's this Suzanne Owiyo Cultural Center. I apparently just looked at her tweet. Somebody tweeted it in the making. Kindly tell us about that.
I'm even surprised. I even told you, but this is something I've kept, and you know, yeah, because it comes all the way. This reminds me of when I was starting my career, and I met a lot of challenges, and I always tell myself I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I went through. So, with the platform opportunities I've had, I've decided to come up with a cultural center, or I call it art center, but in Kisumu, which is underway, to see how I can support various talents, people who want to pursue music and they don't have opportunity. We didn't have one. For example, right now, what I'm doing currently, but at a minimal fee, I have a small space. I bought instruments and I have a small space at the Go Down Art Center. If you know the Go Down, you can find me there every day. I'm always there. So I've created a rehearsal space for various artists who wants to come and rehearse, because I found it very difficult when I was starting. I couldn't get rehearsal space for myself. So those are some of the challenges I went through, and I decided, can I just provide that? I mean, it's unfortunate we don't have a music academy in Kenya that government owned. It's quite unfortunate, you know. But they say you don't have to keep whining, oh government, naomba serikali.
Kweli kabisa.
You know, you need to start something. Just start something. Hiyo gava itakupata mahali imekupata.
Asante kabisa. So we'll just go for a short break, and then there is a performance by Kakinya. Are you ready? She performs, and then we'll
awareness and prevention, and also human rights, you know.